Close your eyes for just a moment and try to imagine one day of your life 20 years from now. You wake up not because of an alarm clock, but because of a voice assistant that already knows you slept worse than usual today. It automatically moved your first meeting half an hour later because the analysis of your biometric data showed that your body needs additional rest. In the kitchen, a robot has already prepared breakfast, taking into account the results of your latest blood test. The refrigerator ordered groceries itself during the night when it noticed that eggs, vegetables, and milk were running out. A self-driving car is already waiting near your house. You do not even need to tell it where to go. It knows your schedule. On the way to work, you read the news, or maybe you don't. Perhaps artificial intelligence has already created a short, personalized overview of exactly those events that can truly interest you. At work, you are greeted not by your boss, but by a digital assistant that during the night analyzed hundreds of documents, prepared a report, answered clients, and left you only a few of the most important decisions to make. And in the evening, your family doctor calls you first, not because you made an appointment, but because an algorithm noticed concerning changes in your health indicators and recommends undergoing an examination even before the first symptoms appear. If this sounds like the plot of a science fiction movie, then I have news for you. Most of these technologies already exist. Some are working in testing mode, some are already being used by large companies, and some may already be working in your smartphone right now, even if you do not notice it. The future that science fiction writers described just 10 years ago is no longer far away. It has begun, and its main driving force has become artificial intelligence, the biggest revolution after the internet. Human history is the history of technological revolutions. Each of them radically changed the way people live. Once, our ancestors discovered fire. Later, they learned how to grow plants. Then they invented the wheel. Thousands of years later, the printing press appeared, making knowledge accessible to millions of people. The steam engine started the Industrial Revolution. Electricity transformed cities, cars shortened distances, airplanes connected continents, computers automated work. The internet connected almost every person on the planet, and smartphones literally placed the entire world in our pocket. Every one of these revolutions initially looked strange. When people first saw a car at the end of the 19th century, many laughed. Why do we need this noisy machine? Horses work perfectly well. At the beginning of the 20th century, some influential people claimed that the telephone would never become popular because most people simply did not need it. When the internet appeared, it was also called a temporary trend. It is hard to believe, but even in the early 2000s, many experts believed that online stores would not be able to compete with traditional ones. Today, these predictions seem ridiculous. And an interesting question arises. Are we repeating the same mistake today regarding artificial intelligence? You already use AI, you just don't notice it. Many people think that artificial intelligence is ChatGPT, or a robot with a human face. In reality, this is only the tip of the iceberg. AI has been living alongside us for a long time. When YouTube recommends videos that you end up watching for hours, when Spotify or Apple Music finds a new favorite song for you, when Netflix suggests a series that perfectly matches your tastes, when a bank detects a suspicious transaction within a second. All of this is different forms of artificial intelligence. Billions of people use it every day without even thinking about it. And this is exactly what makes the current revolution unique. It is almost invisible. There was no day when the world woke up and said, "From today, the era of artificial intelligence begins." It simply arrived, and it arrived incredibly quickly. Why now? If artificial intelligence has existed for decades, why has the whole world started talking about it only recently? The answer consists of 3 reasons. The first, data. Humanity has created an incredible amount of information. Photos, videos, Books, scientific articles, medical records, billions of web pages, billions of hours of video. Every second, people create more information than medieval civilization accumulated over centuries. For modern AI models, this has become a gigantic library of knowledge. The second reason, computing power. If you tried to train a modern artificial intelligence model on a 20-year-old home computer, it would take perhaps hundreds of years. Modern data centers contain tens of thousands of graphics processors working simultaneously. They perform calculations at a speed that was difficult even to imagine not long ago. The third reason, breakthroughs in algorithms themselves. For many years, researchers tried to teach machines to think. Most early systems were extremely limited. They could only do what they were specifically instructed to do. But modern models learn to find patterns independently. That is why they have learned to write texts, create images, music, computer code, and even videos. And now millions of people are asking one question. Will humans become unnecessary? Jobs that may disappear first. Not all jobs will disappear completely, but many professions will change so much that their old form will simply cease to exist. 1. Call center operators. Until recently, millions of people worked by answering the same questions. How do I change my password? Where's my order? How can I return a product? But today, artificial intelligence can handle thousands of conversations simultaneously. It does not get tired. It does not take sick leave. It does not make mistakes because of fatigue. The future of call centers may look like this. One person controls a system that communicates with millions of customers. 2. Entry-level translators. Once, translation was a complex profession. A person spent years learning languages. Today, AI can translate text in real time, even conversations between people from different countries. But this does not mean the death of translators. Only simple translation will disappear. The specialists who work with the following will remain: legal documents, diplomacy, literature, cultural nuances. Because a machine can translate words. But can it understand the soul of the author? 3. Copywriters and simple journalists. Artificial intelligence can already write news, advertising texts, product descriptions, standard articles. Companies will no longer pay a person for text that an algorithm can create in 10 seconds. But the value of those who have their own style, unique ideas, a deep understanding of people will increase. The future will belong not to those who simply write, but to those who know exactly what needs to be said. Professions that will not disappear, but will change. The biggest mistake is thinking that AI will simply replace people. In reality, it will become more like a tool. Just as a calculator did not destroy mathematicians, just as the camera did not destroy artists. But it changed the rules of the game. Doctors and medicine. This is one of the most discussed topics. Will the future exist without doctors? The answer is more complicated. AI can already today analyze X-rays, detect tumors, see early signs of diseases, analyze genetics, predict risks. In some cases, algorithms can find problems even better than humans. But a doctor is not only a diagnosis. A doctor is a person who sees the patient's fear, explains complicated things, makes moral decisions, provides support during a difficult moment. That is why the future of medicine will most likely not be AI instead of a doctor, but doctor plus AI against disease. Professions that may become even more valuable. Paradoxically, in a world of artificial intelligence, some human professions may become more expensive. Psychologists. The more technology enters people's lives, the more loneliness may increase. People need someone who understands their emotions. Teachers. AI can explain a topic, but a good teacher motivates. They see a child's personality. They understand their weaknesses and strengths. Craftspeople. The paradox is this: the more digital the world becomes, the more valuable genuine human work will become. For example, hairdressers, designers, repair specialists, chefs, artists. People will always want uniqueness, new professions that barely exist today. Every revolution destroys some professions, but it also creates new ones. 100 years ago, nobody knew professions such as programmer, blogger, website designer, cybersecurity specialist. In the future, new professions will appear. AI architects, people who will create complex artificial intelligence systems. AI trainers, specialists who will teach algorithms to work correctly. AI ethics specialists, people who will decide, what are machines allowed to do? Where is the limit? Who is responsible for an algorithm's decision? People who manage digital teams. Perhaps in the future, one specialist will manage dozens of AI agents. Which professions will remain forever? There is one quality that artificial intelligence still does not fully possess: human experience. Professions connected with trust, emotions, responsibility, creativity, physical presence will exist for a very long time. People will still want to receive medical treatment from a human, learn from a human, communicate with a human, receive help from a human. The biggest change is not the disappearance of work. Perhaps the main change will not be that AI takes away jobs. The real change will be that the very concept of work will change. Once, people worked 12 hours a day in factories. Then computers made many things faster. Now AI can free people from a large amount of repetitive work. Perhaps the future will not be about, how do I find a job that AI will not take away? But, how do I become a person who AI can make stronger? Artificial intelligence is not just a new technology. It is the moment when humanity has created something that can help us think. But the future does not depend on machines. It depends on how we use them. AI can create a world without many old professions, but it can also create a world where people have more time for creativity, science, family, and personal growth. The question is not, will AI replace people? Perhaps the better question is, which people will be able to use AI better than others? Because the future will not belong to machines, and it will not belong to people alone. It will belong to those who learn how to work together with them. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments, which profession, in your opinion, will disappear first because of artificial intelligence? Perhaps your opinion will become part of the next research.